Best friends! What? I said I was going to start on time, and then I started washing my dishes. But I'm here now. We're here. Let's do it. Hi, it's your boy, Mix Mercury. Welcome to the live. It's been a couple of days. I'm in my underwear. You saw me, and I forgot that you could see. It was a mess, but you know. Hey, I want to do some mini readings today. My original plan was to read Kamala Harris's birth chart and solar return because her birthday is today, but I felt like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like it. Yay! Mars is in Cancer. It's exactly opposite my sun right now. It's been harassing me all week. In fact, it's still harassing me. I went for a bike ride earlier today, this afternoon. I left about 11 o'clock, and I just got home around 3:30. 3:33, actually, I walked in the door, and I have a headache a little bit. But I rode about 12, almost 13 miles. Trail miles, mind you. So they were hard, and I'm tired. And so I just wasn't in the mood to read. I wasn't in the mood to talk about politics, honestly. And doing Trump's chart was not the vibes either. So I was like, let me just not do that. And instead, yeah, do some mini readings. So I would like to. You would be in bed, but see, I am an unreasonable person. So what I would like to do is I want to practice doing my Astro Tarot thing. So we'll have to play around with this probably, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I would like to do an Astro question. Like if you have, well, whatever question you have, I want to do a combination of looking at your chart and pulling cards because that's been helping me out a lot lately, especially with the people who had readings with me this week. So I just want to do some more of that for like a little while, and then I need to go eat and get my shoulders massaged by my little automatic massager. So that's what we're going to do today. I need to cover my head, but if you would like a reading, trying to figure out how to get y'all's birth info without y'all putting it on here. There's an option for private chat, but I don't know how that works. Yeah, see, I want to see people's astrology too. I would rather do that. Wait, you want to see whose astrology? April? Let me put y'all on the screen. Oh my gosh, I'm slacking. Netta says my plants look healthy. Thank you. Thank you. This is my money tree. I have 2 pothos plants back there. You can't see it, but there's also a teeny tiny carnivorous plant, Mexican ping, and it won't eat anymore for some reason. I have both of those plants there. One, because they need to dry out. We had a fungus gnat moment that I think we resolved. Shout out to Mosquito Dunks. But I put the carnivorous plant there to eat the gnats that were coming off of, especially the small pothos. It just, Gnats love that pot for some reason, but it wouldn't eat. And I don't know what. I think she's sad because I used to have two and they were twins. They were besties, but I accidentally dropped the other one in the sink. It was a really sad day when I was in my other apartment. And so I think it's just upset and needs another friend. So one day when I have more money, you know, I will get another friend for her. But yeah, and then I have a snake plant over there as well. So they are thriving. But what did I say I was gonna do? Cover my head. Hold on one second. Everybody just hold on one second. Don't don't look at my body. Or look at it. I don't really care. Okay. God, everything's so hard. I mean, not everything, but a lot of things. Um, Let me see what y'all are saying. April said, hello, good afternoon, all. Hello, hello. Yes, yes. Welcome in, welcome back, freaking sense. Hey, Liv. Oh my goodness. Hey, HP. Yes. I know I need to be in bed, but alas, I am here because I love y'all and I missed y'all. Thank you for giving me my days off and not chastising me, by the way, because I hate when I say I'm going to do a thing and I don't do it, but I also need to like be less rigid. So, you know. Uh, yeah, I have one of those shoulder massagers, and I just like to lay on it in bed and close my eyes and just space out. I did microdose a little bit this morning as well. That's a little shroomy shrooms. So those also put me in a good mood. Hey, Rory. Yes, Money Tree. Yes, it's People's Astrology News. I know. Let's talk about it. I want a reading, but also don't want everybody in my business. Um, yes. Okay. Am I saving this? Yes. I'm saving them all, and then eventually they're all gonna go on my Patreon. Um, so that's my long-term plan. But if you need me to speak in riddles, I can also do that. Just let me know. Let me know what works for you. For anybody, if you want a reading but you don't want me to tell all of your business, I will do my best to not air you out. And also, y'all know how the cards and the spirits be. So, oh, what was cute? What did I do? I'm a mess right now. This is why I was like, I need to not do something serious today and just like be silly. Hey, Desi, welcome. Yes, I am here to run my mouth. Um, yeah, you know what? Booking me is always a wonderful option. I would love to see you. So, might not make it long. I took a fat spiritual bath today and I'm so sleepy, but I wanted to pop in. Well, thank you. Thank you for popping in. Sorry, I saw something. Thank you for popping in. It was good to see you too. Thank you for giggling at my little jig off screen. I don't remember what I did, but we're here. So yeah, if you want a reading, if you want astro, if you want tarot, if you want both, just let me know in the chat. If you want me to read your chart, like if you have a specific question and you want me to use your chart to answer it, DM me your birth time. You can do that on Instagram or Twitter. Um, and I will do it that way. I won't put your chart on screen or anything like that. I'm gonna just talk um and see how that goes. So yeah, DM me your birth time and all that if you want me to do that. If you just want me to pull cards for you and you have a question, please have a question. Or if you don't have a question, honestly, let's just fuck around and see. Let's just fuck around and see what happens. So who wants to go first? Literally whoever in the chat says me, you can go first and then DM me or make your request known. I guess I can do a little banter. Can I do a little banter? I don't know. Live. Okay, good. I don't have to do a. Oh no, Adeze first. Adeze first, and then Live. Perfect. So I at least got 2 in a row. Whoever else, speak now. Let me put you in the queue. All right. Y'all saved me from having to banter because I didn't know what to say. Adeze. Okay, so do you want a tarot reading or do you want an astro reading or do you want both? What would you like? What would you like? Oh, did y'all hear that cha-ching? I did put my tip handles in the I need to get my mind out the gutter. I put my handles in the chat, not in the chat, in the description. So if you want to send a tip, a little donation, whatever, I'm open to receiving. And if not, that's also fine. You're helping me by helping me broadcast my talents. So thank you for participating. You said for me to pick. Well, do you have a question? I can do random pull and we can just see what comes out and I can just riff because I'm really bad at that and I could stand to practice. Um okay, let's do both. Yes, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please like the video. Thank you, Netta. Okay, we can do both. And do you have a question or just something general? Please DM me somewhere your birth time, date, and location and all that so I can pull your chart up on the side. Um, and should I get my iPad? I'm gonna get my iPad. Okay, general. Okay, let me grab my iPad real quick. Sorry, y'all can look at my butt one more time. Oh. Okay, general is fun. General is fun. If you can on Twitter, like I said, or Instagram, DM me your birth info. I will pull your sidereal chart. And while I wait for that, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle some cards. So we are doing a general reading. I do have a candle lit as well. General reading for Adeze. Got my trusty. Oh. What? Okay. Okay, that's all good. Very well then. Okay. Cards for you first. We're just doing a little general pull for Adeze. Anything that the ancestors and the spirits want Adeze to know? Let's pull some cards. And yes, Nia, I am accepting donations for general readings. Or if you have a question, you can do Astro, you can do Tarot, or you can do both. And we are just going to see what happens. So I can practice doing some Tarot. And I just feel like having a little bit of fun today. Okay, just the end. I will be on the lookout for it. And we are using my favorite deck. You already know This Might Hurt. The This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotten. All right. I'm going to just start with 2 cards. If I need another one, I'll pull another one. So off the top for you, we have 3 of Wands. Everybody have a gander. We have a person sitting on their desk looking out at the sea where there's a sunset. The wands in this deck, in this particular card, are these 3 pens and pencils in coffee cups on the table with some notes, it looks like, and a book scattered around. And instead of being hard at work, she is looking out at the sea, just daydreaming, gazing. So, are you the person sitting on this deck, Adeze? Is that you? What is the context for this Three of Wands today? The Hierophant. Oh, the Hierophant. What's that about? We have the Hierophant. It is a person standing between two pillars of goddesses, it looks like. Very similar to the Empress figure in the Empress card. And there are two people kind of at, I was going to say on their knees. Don't love that, but on their knees in front of this priest like figure with two fingers held high, staff in one hand, and then this nice little crown situation they've got going on. Very interesting. Very interesting. You can send a DM on any of my other socials for birth time info. Okay. And I just got your birth info. Let me put that in. I need some background music. Or maybe I don't. Maybe the silence is fine. All right. Very good. Very good. Let's send it. Okay. And born in the year 2000 means that you are 24 this year. Oh, hi, Sophia. Okay. First house perfection for you. Libra rising. And you have Venus in the fifth house in Aquarius. Conjunct Mercury. Oh, interesting. What else is in this chart that would have something to say about the Three of Wands in the context of the Hierophant? You do have the moon in Gemini in the ninth. We both have Gemini moons. Nice to see you, twin. Um, hmm. Well, interesting to see the Three of Wands for someone who has their Lord of the Year in the fifth house. I think about the Three of Wands as being like a card that has to do with creativity and inspiration. And like how we were kind of saying, instead of sitting here doing her work like she normally does, she's looking out to the sea, maybe for inspiration, maybe for some kind of sign, or maybe there's like a longing or a desire to be doing something else. Threes usually come after twos in the sense that a decision needs to be made in twos, and then threes are kind of like, all right, you're ready to take flight. But with the Hierophant here, there's something about tradition or religion or spirituality or something. And I wonder if that is like, if it's not about tradition or spirituality, it's also making me wonder about like shoulds, like expectations, everybody else's expectations, or somebody who has more authority or power or something than you, and their voice kind of living in your head a little bit, telling you what you can and can't do based on whatever beliefs you have or doctrines you have. So I don't know if these are someone else's beliefs or if they're yours. And speaking of beliefs, you do have Jupiter, the planet of beliefs, in the seventh house in Aries, conjunct Saturn. So you tell me, is there like a limiting belief situation going on here? Or is there like you're actually expecting maybe too much from yourself? And so it's so overwhelming that you can't even get started? That's kind of random. But thinking about your Lord of the Year being Venus in the fifth house, and like the fifth house again having to do with things that you create, things that you probably both, things that you create, things that you enjoy, things that you take pleasure in, and also gender and sexuality and all of those types of things too. This is like the house where you're supposed to enjoy things and have fun. And having Venus there especially is like heavy on the creativity and the pleasure. especially like as a way that you meet people or make friends, have similar hobbies or things in common. Um, but in Aquarius, there can also be this experience of feeling like, you maybe have an idea or a vision of doing something that you haven't totally like, that you can't really see what the outcome is going to be. So it's hard to trust in some ways that like you are good at what you do or that you can actually like achieve this vision, and you probably haven't seen someone else do it before. Probably totally unique idea, probably a totally like just different, just doing something different, trying to decide for yourself what direction that you want to take your work or your this hobby or this interest that you have. I don't know. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on? Because to me, this feels like either, and this is without looking at the book, to me, this either feels like wanting to do something, like I said, wanting to do something, wanting to move forward with some kind of project or a creative endeavor or relationship or whatever it is, but these beliefs, these beliefs either are holding you back, or the change in beliefs, or maybe being more rooted in beliefs, your beliefs make it easier to move forward. I don't know. Give me a little something to work with. I'm curious. Thinking about you having Libra rising and Mars is also going to do a little retrograde dance through your 10th house, a little back and forth over your North Node and your Lot of Fortune. This feels personal, babes. It's a little bit like, the 10th house having to do with your legacy and maybe larger career arc, your reputation, your status, something like that. Also, maybe parents. But Mars moving through there kind of makes me wonder. Wait a second. Kind of makes me, I forgot my thought, but it's moving between your ninth and your 10th house. So it is kind of interesting to see like the ruler of your 10th house being in the ninth as well, and the ninth house dealing with religion and spirituality and beliefs and divination and all of those types of things. So um this, I don't know if your parents influence those beliefs or what the situation is. So you said there is a creative endeavor and you're seeking out pleasure and enjoyment, but the ex-Catholic guilt is hitting hard. Well, that's quite on the nose then, isn't it? Yeah, Catholic guilt. I am not Catholic, but I know a lot of people who are Catholic, and especially with the moon in the ninth house, like not the moon in Gemini in the ninth house, like not being able to, well, I won't say you weren't, well, I don't know, maybe you weren't able to be super curious about your body and your relationship to your body and your needs and all of those things. And so if you are wanting to explore, but then the memory of the nun slapping your hands with the ruler, so to speak, is keeping you from venturing out, the Three of Wands is kind of encouraging you to venture out, um, to broaden your horizons, so to speak, to try something new, and to also maybe curate with the Hierophant, maybe curating your own expectations or beliefs for yourself that allow you to have the experiences that you want to have. And then I am curious how that also kind of helps with the other things that you're trying to do. Especially like being in a Libra perfection and dealing with guilt too. It's like Libra and Aries, this is like what I call the responsibility axis in a way. And they both deal with responsibility and what's the other word, accountability and consequences and risk taking and all of that stuff differently. Of course, Aries is a little bit more like fuck around, find out, which is kind of funny. That's what you said whenever you wanted to get this reading. Aries is a little bit more fuck around and find out, I'll deal with the consequences later. Or is sometimes like assuming the risk up front and whatever the outcome might be just is what it is. Whereas Libra tends to be a little bit more calculated, a little bit more trying to basically like basically like not have to deal with like punishment or consequences, or wants like a reward for doing the action or taking the action, or at least to know that a reward is promised. So for you, or in this case, like if you're talking about the Catholic guilt is hitting hard and kind of getting in the way, then it would make sense that that is something to try to make sure the maths. Yeah. Trying to make sure that that is something that is not like looming over your head whenever you are looking to take the risk or take the leap into this creative project or pleasurable activity. So I think I think this. Trying to think about transits coming up that might unlock something for you. Well, I guess you are in a Venus ruled year, and Venus right now is square your Venus in Scorpio. So if you have Venus in Aquarius, Venus is in Scorpio right now, and you're in a Venus perfection, this transit is relevant to you in a number of ways. It's moving through your second house as well. And the thing about Venus in Scorpio is like sometimes people like you because you're different. Sometimes you are connecting based on your differences. Sometimes you are saying the uncomfortable thing out loud, and then other people are like, "Oh, thank God, so glad that you said something." And you just got to roll with that. Something about that is going to help you maybe make money. It might help you get your needs met. It might help you, I don't know, secure the bag with the project, or I don't know if this is money related for you or not. Please let me know. Because if it's not, second house, it could be, I don't know, food related. It could be spending. Are you looking to like make a significant purchase or something like that, but maybe feeling like, I don't know, worried about overspending? Tell me just a little bit more, and then I'm going to move on to the next person. Also, why are people texting me? Oh, those are old messages coming through on my iPad. Anything else you'd like to add before I move on to the next? Let me see something else. Yeah, because Venus square Venus, and especially like Venus in a water sign square where you normally have, or I say square in conflict with your natal Venus, is kind of like your body is trying to pull you out of your head and into your feelings. So your feelings are also a tool that you can use at this time instead of just keeping everything in your head. Um, if you really feel the desire to go for this thing, probably trust that. I think it's okay for you to trust that. Um, a little bit of everything. There are steps I have to take to get a goal. I'm also trying to quit this damn job, but it's security. Yeah, and I mean I'm not going to recommend anybody just quit their job to um to immediately quit their job and go after whatever they want in this economy. I think sometimes your hand is forced, and that is the option or the route that you have to take. But if it's not the route you have to take, I wouldn't preempt it. Um, this feels a little bit more like, hold on, let me see one more thing real quick. Check and see what else to add about the Hierophant. Hierophant. Hierophant? How do y'all say Hierophant? I don't know. Do, 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 do. Ooh. These types of structures. That's interesting. Yeah. So this card also talking about, like, I know I said what I said, but this card as the context kind of talking about like there are actually people who have done the thing that you're trying to do, or something similar to what you're trying to do, or similar to the thing that you are seeking out pleasure and enjoyment in. And so again, kind of going back to like getting out of your head, maybe actually having conversations with people who embody embody the creativity or the pleasure or the joy or whatever it is that you're seeking. People who already model that, people who maybe aren't doing exactly the same thing that you're trying to do, but who have some level of experience with this thing. Because if it's something you haven't done before or something that you are nervous to try, having a reference point would be really helpful, especially thinking about Venus in Aquarius. So yeah, if there's like a friend, family member, community member, a mentor of some sort, an elder of some sort, someone you can reach out to and have a conversation about what to do next, or how to go about this process or whatever it is. Um, that might be worthwhile. And then, of course, dealing with maybe the uncomfortable feelings or the shame or whatever it is that come up with that, or that come up along with that as being part of the conversation. Like, don't hide that or leave that part out. Maybe it's even saying, like, hey, these are the reasons why this thing kind of makes me uncomfortable, or, that I'm struggling with this thing, kind of leading with a little bit of vulnerability with a trusted person to get started on your journey. That might be helpful because Venus is all about connecting with other people, asking for help, being dependent or interdependent. So, yeah, I would say reach out to somebody who can assist you in this goal. Um, as a COVID cautious person, hell yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for going first. That was cute. This is a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but this is why we practice. So, thank you for volunteering. And let me scroll back up and see who was next. I would also like to say hello to Sophia. Welcome. And Jada. Hello. Okay, scrolling back up, I saw Liv. Liv, you were next. Would you still like a card pull? I can pull one for you. I don't have your chart on hand here, but if you would like for me to use your chart as well, please let me know. Are you still in the room? Okay, period. My question is, how useful would it be to go on this upcoming optional work trip? And if so, how should I approach it? I'm trying to get an extension on my contract, i.e., keep my income flowing. So this is about money, honey. Okay. Let me see. Just sent your birth info, period. Hi, Tom. Yes. We are trying new things today. If you just joined the chat and you want a reading, I have a little bit of a list going, but if you would like one, DM me your birth data if you want me to use your birth chart. I'm trying to do a little Astro Tarot combo just to see what comes out. You can do general, you can ask a question, whatever you'd like. You can have whatever you like. Yes. I just had a TikTok tarot reader read me to filth. And it was one of those just like, if this reading ends up on your timeline, it was meant for you. And he just out the gate, chewing my ass up. I was like, hello, I'm trying to relax. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Let's see. Okay, yes, that is your chart. I have seen it before. And you, my friend, are with me in a sixth house perfection. So, of course, you're asking about work. Of course. That's all we talk about in the sixth house is work and labor and other things. And you're having your Mars return officially. So, welcome home. Welcome home. Your sixth house is ruled by Jupiter, as you have Sag in the sixth, and then your Jupiter is in Scorpio in the fifth. So, keeping that in mind. And then I will shuffle cards as I read your question again. All right. A little shuffle out of the last person's energy and into the new. So for Olivia, we would like to know, how useful would it be for them to go on this upcoming optional work trip? If so, how should they approach it? Trying to get an extension on my contract and keep the income flowing. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. Your card on the top is Knight of Pentacles. Very cute. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards. It's also so funny because this helmet looks like a carrot. But yeah, we're chilling, like looking over the farm land, holding a big giant pentacle. All of the knights in this deck are also on motorcycles, so I think that's cool. But there's something about looking out at the harvest in this for me. Um, Knights, they tend to move fast, but the Knight of Pentacles is more of like a slow and steady wins the race. Um, Wants to have all of their ducks in a row, right? All of their eggs accounted for in the basket. And moving intentionally and what's the word, methodically. So there's that. Two of Cups. Oh, I love this card. I love this card in this deck. It is two lovers, besties, whomever, hugging, and they've each got their little cups, warm cups of coffee. Very sweet, very loving. Okay, so just cards off the top of the head. So the context is the Two of Cups. Two of Cups, it's kind of like match that energy. It's kind of reciprocal. It's giving I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Uh it's supportive, it's loving, it's open, it's caring, it's kind. But yeah, very much like give and receive vibes. So that immediately tells me like, what do you get out of this? As far as like how useful would it be to go on this upcoming work trip? And like if the question is like, what do you get out of it? And then Knight of Pentacles, like, are you working towards something? Oh, you said you're trying to get an extension on your contract to keep your income flowing. So is this work trip something that is going to contribute to like your longer arc or your longer goal of like extending this contract? Or what would be the reason why you wouldn't go? Because this is kind of saying like, again, like slow and steady wins the race. Like put one foot in front of the other, and kind of taking your time, not trying to rush things, and give the energy that you're receiving. Basically, like don't do too much. This is like both of these together is really feeling like if they're not doing too much for you, you don't need to do too much for them. And then ironically, the card behind the Two of Cups is also the Eight of Wands. So again, like, are you being rushed or are you rushing? Were you rushed? Are you rushing or were you rushed? Right? Or you trying to make this happen quickly. The trip is coming up quickly, but you are trying to take your time. And again, like, I don't know, feels to me like if they're not giving you all of that energy, then don't give them more energy basically than they than you're receiving. Or also if they are, if it's going to be worth it to you, basically, like if it's going to be an even exchange of sorts, then like go for it. But also, um, hold on. Ah, yeah, because you do got that Mars in the first house and you're having your Mars return. So yeah, let me know a little bit more, like as far as how to approach it. How to approach it does seem like, yeah, take your time. Um, the upcoming work trip, and it's optional. So yeah, like, is this about? I don't know. I'm gonna just wait for you to respond because I know there's a lag. So let me chill. Now I'm rushing. Haha, let me not do that. I'll look at your chart a little bit more because I know we've kind of talked about this too. Like, you be wanting things to happen quickly with Mars in the first house and in the moon ruled Mars Aries. I mean, Mars ruled moon in Aries as well. So I'm curious about the discomfort that comes up with waiting or not going, or as far as like keeping your income flowing. Jupiter and Scorpio. Is there something around like not being left out too? Not wanting to be left out. Oh, I see. It's a trip on election day. I work remote. This would be my first time meeting these people. I thought it may be useful to rub shoulders. LOL at patience. Yeah. Um, I mean, it might be useful to rub shoulders. They rubbing a lot more than shoulders in this card. So if you're like wanting to get to know people, wanting to like kind of come out of your shell, maybe, I don't know, collaborate or build up the teamwork vibes or boost morale or whatever. I mean, oh, I see. You don't want to be the only one not there. I should ask around among coworkers. I mean, if you want to go, right? Like, if you want to be there, if you want to get to know people, if like you're interested in getting to know your coworkers, then like, do what you need to do to protect yourself, of course. Jupiter and Scorpio. Manage your expectations, of the other people, manage your expectations of yourself as well. But if you also don't really want to go, I don't know. Like, yeah, not wanting to be the only one going. I now, mind you, I'm not a corporate guy, so I don't know these things, but from what I've heard, the expectation that you will mix and mingle whenever work trips are going on is definitely a thing, thinking about having your Jupiter opposition, and Jupiter is in your 11th house in Taurus. So, opposite your Jupiter, you don't want to be the only one not going, but what about like the only one masking or the only one concerned about COVID, the only one, I don't know, other ways that you're the only one thinking about this Jupiter perfection and like what that says about you, what that says about other people, or what that says about you, what that makes other people think about you. Does it make other people uncomfortable? It seems to be another theme because you do have Venus in your fifth house right now, too. So making a play for your Jupiter. And believe me, I get it. I'm also feeling a little bit like I should branch out. I should go see people, but COVID, how do I protect myself but also be in relationship with people is kind of tricky. Ways to go about it. Knight of Pentacles being your answer. Yeah, it's giving like have a plan. Have a plan for yourself whenever you need to get the fuck out, if you need to get the fuck out, or have like a backup plan or a safety plan or whatever you need so that you can feel comfortable while you're there and, you know, rub shoulders, as you say, getting to know people, but still feeling safe. So, um, have all of your things, have all of your protection items, that you need, whatever your practices are, like good quality masks, nasal sprays, I don't know, all of the all of the million different things that you could take with you to minimize your exposure, getting vaccinated, whatever you might need. I think it's saying something about like making good use of your resources as well. We were talking about like looking out over the harvest, and it's kind of like, okay, what do I have access to that would help me do the thing that I want to do, but also still protect me or keep me safe. Yikes, I'm sure I'll be the only one masking. I literally have another trip right after, so risk is going to be high regardless. Ooh, and energy too. Something about this something about that also makes me think about your energy. Mars is in your first house right now. So, and in Cancer at that. So, yeah, like your needs and feeling your differences be a little bit louder than normal. Um and also just like, yeah, like taking care of yourself while you're out just feels really important, to have a plan in place, like for food, for like all the things that you're gonna have to manage basically while you're on the trip, as far as like how to go about it. Make the plan in advance. I wouldn't do too much like impulsive decision making or thinking on your feet. Like have a plan in place, kind of write out all of the things that you might need or that you do or don't want to do, like strong boundaries in place, all of that kind of stuff. And then again, it's also this of just like not how, I don't know. I maybe not normally how we would read this card, but in the context of the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, yes, go for what you want, but also like don't overextend yourself, especially if like it's work. Them job people, they're not gonna overextend themselves for you. So why should you overextend for them? Um that feels like advice. I don't like giving advice per se, but um one Jupiter and Scorpio person to another, like, yeah, don't do things that you don't want to do, but definitely don't do things that you don't want to do, and have a plan A, B, and C. That's what I'm getting from both of these. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. Thanks. This was really helpful. Well, you are so welcome. Thank you for asking and for playing. I appreciate that. Very interesting, very interesting. Tarot is always so funny to me because tarot and astrology, right? Like they always are loud, but it's like building familiarity with the tool and actually like using it on the spot too. Like I'm not doing my usual process where I sit and write things out or deliberate over it, but um this is interesting. Okay, who is next? I see. My daughter said me, but she's only 2. So, frankincense, you were after Olivia. Are you still in the room? I can do like a little small I could maybe do a little small card pull for your daughter if she would still like. Just to see if I can read for children as the old Saturn man. Um and try to be cute and sweet and funny about it. That's a nice little challenge for me. I'll give you just a second to respond. Y'all are so nice, by the way. Thank you for the tips. Thank you for the tips. I feel like I need music in between. And Nia, I did see your message come through as well. So you are on my list. Frankincense, are you still there? And then Nia, you're up next. Frankincense going once, going twice, going 2.5. Okay. I will come back to you if you pull up. In the meantime, I'm going to go to Nia. Yeah, please let me know your question, darling. I will pull up your chart in the meantime. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's already almost 7 o'clock. All right. Okay, I have your chart. Is that right? Yeah. I have your chart. Do you have a question, Nia? Or you just want me to finesse? 1991 is going to put you in 32. 32 is a 9th house year until your upcoming birthday. You have Pisces in the 9th house with Jupiter in Leo, Cancer rising. Ooh, Moon Jupiter opposition too. Okay, so 9th house, 2nd house. Why is my love life non-existence right now, and why is my ex hovering? Okay, I'm gonna need you to pick one: love life or the ex. Oh, you got a little scorpion stellium. Okay. Mars, Mercury, and the Sun. Spicy. Oh, not you being a Mars girly and a Venus girly and a Saturn girly all at the same time. My. But it is a night chart, so Venus and Saturn take the cake. Nia, I need you to pick one question. Final answer. Let me know what your final answer is, and I'll start shuffling. Well, I won't start shuffling, but just let me know what your final answer is. Love life. Okay. Why is your love life non-existent right now? I like that question. That's a good card pulling question. All right. Why Leah's love life is non-existent right now? And if there is a remedy, feel free to provide one. I might follow Nia's example. Okay. Oh, sounds like this might be from more than one person in the chat. I hope I don't read myself in the process. Do I want that card? It flipped on accident. I'll leave it out. I don't. Fuck it. Let's go with it. 8 of Wands. That 8 of Wands has been trying to jump out for a while. With 7 of Pentacles on the bottom? We'll see if these are your cards. They might not be. But I'm going to go with it just to see. So, first card that came out as I was shuffling was the 8 of Wands. Now, this card has been trying to jump out the last few times. You notice all the little woodland creatures are fleeing. Well, maybe they're fleeing. Maybe they're running towards something. Kind of interesting that my gut was to say that they are fleeing. But they are fleeing with the 8 wands right above them. And this is giving quickly. But I heard quickly, we're in danger. Are you in danger? Does it feel dangerous to be in love? I'm biased because I have I'm not biased, but I'm thinking about you having that Scorpio stellium in the 5th house. That's not giving like with arms wide open. Like it's not really giving that. It's if you're anything like me, not to project. But are you running? Why are you running? I don't know. Why are you running? 7 of Pentacles, apparently. 7 Pentacles, we have this person looking kind of content at all of these pentacles above their head. The way every one of my crushes have curved me, they've curved you. What's that about? Is this you looking at all of your crushes? That's the look of satisfaction doesn't really fit, but I usually 7 of Pentacles, if this is our context, usually 7 of Pentacles is kind of like looking with satisfaction. Is it 7 or 8s that are satisfied? I think it's looking with some kind of contemplation or satisfaction or whatever it is at the fruits of your labor, usually. The work that you've put in and kind of reaping what you sow. Um or reaping the benefits of your hard work and kind of trying to decide, well, are you trying to decide? I don't think there's any decision necessarily, but there is a little bit of like looking and listening. And with the 8 of Wands, I guess how I'm holding them up, they are trying to go towards, but I don't know. My gut kind of says going away. You said you did meet someone recently and you're very suspicious. Okay, that's suspicious. That's weird. Um That's me looking at my money. Been celibate for a year, growing my art practice and bank balance. Well, that's interesting because you are in this Jupiter perfection with Jupiter in the second house. So looking at your money, how much does money play a role in your relationship seeking? Don't know why I'm asking that question. Also thinking about Pisces. So what's interesting with this card, like what I immediately thought about as far as like this looking and reflecting, contemplating thing, and you being in a Pisces year is like all of these memories that you've had, maybe of being in relationships or of past experiences and the conclusions that you maybe draw today based on those previous experiences and how that, may or may not be relevant to the current situation. um, but you've been celibate for a year, growing your art practice and bank balance. Like you're doing things that you enjoy, and I guess now reaching this point. I mean, the question was why your love life is non-existent right now. You mentioned your ex is hovering. You want to know when you'll have sex again. It's been a year. I mean, your crushes have curved you, but then you're suspicious of someone you recently met. So, my coaching brain with this card wants to know, this is also incoming. This can also be incoming, like they on the way. I never dated when I was financially stable. Hmm. Hmm. So, Jupiter and Leo, if you've never dated when you were financially stable, what did that mean for the partners that you were choosing or how partners interacted with you? I'm also curious if you date men because Jupiter and Leo and dealing with men, especially cis men, is like meh. I know the rules about like patriarchy and um cis heteronormative culture and thinking about having your Jupiter square right now too is kind of like, is this like a hyper independent, like I got my own, I don't need no man situation? And then, if you were dating during times when you weren't financially stable, like what was that like for you in terms of the whole, like maybe not wanting to be taken advantage of, not wanting to be manipulated, not wanting to be kept, not wanting to be a kept woman, or person. Um, so it's just so weird that this, as much as it can be incoming, this is also giving like running away. Are you running away? Are you self-sabotaging? What's going on? You are always very love versus money. So like you rather get the bag than be in love, or you rather be in love than get the bag, but now you got the bag, so where's the love? Are you also moving too quickly? Not me jittery. Oh my goodness. Are you like rushing? Like, is that why some of the crush is curved? Like, are you rushing the relationships or are you trying to move too quickly in the relationship dynamics? There's also that. I'm pan, but hoping for a lesbian relationship next, so dating women very earnestly and everyone isn't over their ex or available. Well, yeah, that is a problem. That is a problem in the lesbian community. Um takes a while to move on from an ex, but your ex is also hovering. So it's kind of like you're in it as well. Not to read you not to call you out, read you like this, but the words are just jumping out of my mouth. I apologize. Um and when you say available, do you mean like emotionally available? Yeah. Also just thinking about hmm. There's a lot going on in your chart right now, honestly. A lot of stuff impacting your chart right now. Oh, I didn't realize the moon was in Taurus today. I don't want my ex. I I am curious about the money aspect, like within relationships, like how money plays a role in the relationship itself. So not like love versus money necessarily, but like are you dating like you being financially stable or secure, how that allows you to like move through relationships differently now than maybe previously, how that allows you to engage with other people differently, and how that's allowing you to like see yourself differently, but also see the people that you're dating differently. And there's a self-esteem thing in this too that I can't quite put my finger on. Emotionally unavailable partners too. Usually if we are seeking emotionally unavailable people, it's because we are still emotionally unavailable ourselves. Hey Samaje. Um so there's also that question. Like you've been celibate for a year, you've been focusing on your art, focusing on your money, focusing on you. So to let somebody else new in even when you're actively dating and kind of like disrupt all of that is kind of it would quickly change things. I could say that much as far as this whole 8 of Wands situation. Um so yeah, I'm curious if you I can show up less needy or more assertive and maybe it's not landing well. So you're showing up more assertive now and maybe it's not landing well. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, actually, now that you're saying that, because I do think about the second house as a house of needs, and you do have Jupiter there. That is your Lord of the Year. Um, so if you don't need money, if you're not trying to get those types of needs met in a relationship, what other needs do you need? What other needs do you need to get met in a relationship? Emotionally being one of them. I would imagine that it is uncomfortable to just lead with your feelings. I mean, you did say you were kind of feeling suspicious about someone you met recently. So I would be curious about that suspicion for yourself. And rather than like projecting it onto the other person, like something is going on with them, um, do some like self inventory. Also thinking about the Seven of Pentacles being like inventory or stock or like the reserves that you have or something like that. I would do a little self inquiry about how emotionally available you actually are and how much you are willing to give up or change some of the emotional stability that you have right now, as somebody who is financially secure. Because I could see what you're saying in terms of like showing up less needy. It's kind of like you don't need somebody maybe in the way that you used to need somebody. So it's like the way that you need even has changed, right? So that's something to factor in your relationships, like when you are seeking new dating partners, like your needs have changed, your desires, maybe not your desires, but your needs have changed in a way that like what you require from somebody else is different. And I know that you mentioned like being curved, but also like if these are people who are still not over their ex or emotionally unavailable and you're the consistent denominator, it is kind of giving like, are you actually as emotionally available as you think? So I'm going to leave it at that. Dating was easier when I was poor as a femme. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. You are being required to show up differently than how you've done in the past because your context has changed. So moving from that place and doing a little bit, like I said, more self-assessment of just like where am I actually at emotionally and how am I getting in my own way of seeking out people who are actually available emotionally, and how do I need to put myself out there in a way that says I'm available emotionally as well. Nadine, you made it. Welcome. So I hope that was helpful. I feel like I'm intimidating now or something. Yeah, so those are the things to think about. Those are some things to think about, like if you feel like you're intimidating, are you being intimidating? I mean, I don't know. Literally, like we're not having like a one-to-one question, but I will say if this is something that you would like to work out in relationship coaching, so I can understand more of the nuance, come talk to me because this does sound like something we could work on. I don't know for sure what the situation is, but I would like to know more. If you would like to come sit in my chair, come sit in my therapist's chair, and we can talk about it. But thank you for your question. I am going to go to the next person, just being mindful of the time. Clearing that out. But thank you. I hope that was at least a little bit helpful or gave you something to chew on. Um, let me know. Let me know. All right. Who was after Nia? I think, Zofia, if you're still here, I'm not sure if you're still here, but it looks like you were next. I need to be aware of my face while I'm on screen. I'm like so used to not being in my body or aware of myself that I just forget people are watching. So yeah, Zofia, if your girlfriend would still like a little read and has a question, let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Thank you, Tom. I think I said thank you earlier, but if I didn't, thank you. That was interesting. Yes, Jaspin. Oh, so glad to see y'all are still together. Very exciting. I did a synastry reading for Zofia and Jaspin, and I would also love some updates, not on here, unless you just want to give them, but if y'all have any updates for me and you want to send me a little message, I would love to know what was going on. If anybody else is currently in a relationship and would like a synastry reading, I'm probably I should throw those on my books because I haven't done one since, but I would like to do more of those. I think they're fun. Okay, so for Jaspin, she is wondering if applying and looking for a new job is the best use of her energy. Well, let's find out. Let's do a simple 2-card pull for that. Is applying and looking for a new job the best use of Jasmine's energy? Hmm. Oh, it jumped out, but it didn't flip over. So I'm gonna keep shuffling, and if it comes back, it was meant to be. Ah, we got such a good reading together. Everyone highly recommended. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that was fun. Okay. Applying and looking for a new job. Is that the best use of her energy? You have 9 of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck because she just looks like such a bad bitch. Like, what is going on? She's posted up in the garden. Her fruits are just like giving, child. All of the grapes, all of the pentacles, mountains in the back. It's like she's in a nice little European countryside, maybe, or California wine country. I don't know. And she got on her little skirt or whatever. She matchy matchy. She got this bird on her wrist. She just fly. This bitch is just fly. We love it for her. So it's giving satisfaction and abundance. Satisfaction and abundance. And your card on the bottom is the Emperor. Wow. The Emperor. Oh my god, Daddy. What are you doing here? We got a man, allegedly, with some items and the large Capricorn goat. I say it's the Capricorn goat. I don't know who that is. But yeah, Emperor. So why are you looking for a new job? If Emperor is the context, it's giving the man, like going to work for the man. Capricorn goat. I mean, it is, right? Like the Emperor is kind of giving Capricorn goat. It's giving like the man something about a person of power and influence, or maybe it's you. Are you the person of power and influence? Um, there's also something to be said about like structure and boundaries. Like, are you craving more structure and boundaries and like power in your life? Do you need, I mean, obviously everybody needs money, but it's an interesting combination to see. Oh, Six of Pentacles was underneath the Emperor too. It's an interesting combination to see because, like, on the one hand, like if you're craving structure and boundaries, but you're also living your best life right now. She was talking about a manager. He wears a suit and we hate him. Is this the manager? Oh, looking for a new job. So you're in a job currently? I was thinking like for whatever reason my brain was like unemployed looking for a new job because there's also that. But yeah, if you're looking for a new job because you don't like that motherfucker, well, and you might be happier somewhere else. And your resume, I was just about to say, that's so funny, and she feels undervalued. I was just about to say, if your resume is popping, but you're not getting the respect, you're not being treated with dignity and respect, they're not putting respect on your name. Um, that's the question I have because it seems like you got a lot of skills, you have a lot to offer. Um, you are good at what you do. You're probably doing a lot. This is value. Like the title of this card, I want to read it to you because it's kind of funny. Chilling in my bitchin' garden with all my accomplishments. That's you. Chilling in my bitchin' garden with all of my accomplishments. But for some reason, that man don't see you. Right? Bitchin' garden is cute. Samaje is my in-house tarot reader, asking if you need more pay for more control or both. Oops. So is this about like you need to make more money so that you can have more control in your life? But if the emperor is your boss, you know, Stand up, stand up and fight for your rights. Yeah. Go somewhere where they go somewhere where they put some respect on your name. That's how I feel. Like, yeah, male dominated place with the emperor. Go somewhere where they put some respect on your name. That's what came up for me. Cause it's like, what is the point of offering all of these things that you have or having all of these skills or, working hard if they just gonna keep overlooking you? That's not very satisfying to you, which I think about nines having to do with satisfaction. It's not very satisfying to you. I mean, and if you're not getting paid enough as well, like Samaje said, like get your bag up. But I would say I wouldn't leave without having somewhere to go. Like hang in there a little bit longer and keep doing your job searches, while you're there. Cause it is the economy is like a hot mess. And one of my Mars retrograde thoughts is that it's getting messier. Or maybe it resolves itself with the retrograde, but we still have a while. Like Mars just got to Cancer today. So we have a ways to go. I wish I could remember your chart to know what house Mars is in. I'm sure you know though, Zofia. Which house is what is our Cancer house? Cancer and Gemini houses. Part of it is like now versus next year. Yeah, I mean, you do have Mars and Aries. You do have, I don't know, I don't usually do this, but the Six of Pentacles was also behind the Emperor. So I don't know. Gemini rising. Oh, okay. So you got Mars in the second house as well, second and first house. Yeah. Okay. Um, keep searching. Keep searching, keep putting feelers out there. If there's a job that you're going for that like this is kind of weird. I don't know if it's going to make more or less than the job that you're at, but if you want to if you're contemplating a job change that's also like doing something else, like a different skill that you already have, because again, your resume, it's diverse, it's impressive, it's it's dank. You probably have a lot of things that you're good at, Gemini, Mars and Aries. And you probably know some people too. Do you be knowing people? You be networking? I think you have a wide variety of skills, special skills. And so I don't know, maybe exploring different types of jobs than the ones that you're at too, especially if the one that you're at is male dominated, then like the idea of going to another job that's male dominated and patriarchal, like maybe that's not going to be satisfying as well. But if you don't have if I'm wrong and you don't have a diverse set of skills and this is like where your bag is at, then I think maybe just trying to find somewhere that isn't male dominated, or that is just different. I don't know, looking for a job, looking for like a workplace, I guess, that is different than what you're used to experiencing. I don't know. Trying something different. You got Gemini rising, you know. Um very knowledgeable, very intelligent, and also can talk your way in and out of whatever situation you need to move through. So based on where everything is in the sky right now, yeah, I would just try something different, try something new, see what else is out there. Don't put yourself in a box. And then, if all else fails and you just need to find a similar job somewhere else, then that's also cool too. But I don't know, just feeling the urge, a little bit of something that says to try something new, because that's where you'll find different types of bosses, different types of employers, different types of workplace environments. And yeah, just trying something new. Or at least I'll say look, seek out something new, and then you never know what might come up in that process. So not limiting yourself to one thing, one specific job description or type of employer. I don't know if that makes sense or if that even fits your situation, but I hope that's helpful. Tell her it was good to see her again. Well, I didn't see her again, but good to share energy with her again. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Very good, very good. I hope it all works out. Best of luck. Who is next? I will do maybe one or two more, and then I'm gonna go because it's almost 7:30. And I need to eat and wind down after my adventurous day. Somebody's dog is going off outside. Samaje! Oh my god, you want me to read for you? That's so scary. Do you want Astro and Tarot, or just Astro, or just Tarot, or whatever? Whatever calls to me. It's not like I don't have your chart in my head anyway, so you're just going to get it all, I guess. Do you have a question, darling? One day I'm going to get a reading, honey. Period, Jada. Period. I would love to give you one. Thank y'all again for letting me practice with you. I'm trying to work on intuition. And intuition when I'm in conversation is fine and great and one thing. But intuition when I have very little information to work with is a struggle. So trying to work that muscle of just trusting whatever random feels come up. So Samaje is going to challenge me with no question. Well, let's just see. Let's just see what happened. What the cards got to say for you, honey. Okay. I don't know what this accent is, but yes, girl. Okay, let me find out. What do I need to know? What does Samaje need to know? From the tarot, from the spirits, from the ancestors, from whoever is here to walk with Samaje along their journey. Whatever comes up, comes up. And if you're having a good time on this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Okay, let's do one more. All right, Samaje. Let me get all close to the mic. You have you got the sun. You got the sun. You got the sun. This is so cute. Look at that. We got sunflowers. We got the actual sun. We got a little baby riding around on a little poodle. And then a little baby poodle behind the big poodle. And everybody's just having a grand old time. Being visible. Being seen. And heard, maybe. Because kids, they loud. Fuck them kids. I'm just playing. Um, it's my accent, actually. OMG, the trade voice. I'm crying. Ah, oh, that's so funny. Okay. That's my sleepy voice. Okay. Oh, oh, what's this about? What do we have here? There's an awful lot of swords, bestie. In crisis, just in crisis, about being seen, about expressing yourself. Wagwan, wagwan. This, this here. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're worrying for nothing, because that's not real. But you do have Scorpio rising in your solar return, and you are in a first house year. This is so embarrassing. You're in a first house year, right? Venus profection with Venus in the 10th house and Mars just pulled up. Let's do a little retrograde dance. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so let me think about this. The context of Nine of Swords being there's a lot on your mind. You might be overthinking a bit, stressing the fuck out, just like really, really concerned. And are you already visible or are you emerging into visibility? Like what's going on there? Because if you're already being seen and you stress about it, that's one thing. If you are if you have a desire to be seen, but you're still hiding despite wanting to be seen, that's another thing. So is it option A or option B? I overthink my writing and teaching ability. I want to get more into that, but qualifications and whatnot. Well, what qualifications do you need? Now, mind you, I am not going to be one of those people, one of those spiritualists on the internet who says that you don't need the institution or you don't need higher learning, you don't need whatever. I know you got stuff in the ninth house. And I know I know Mars is going to retrograde back into your ninth house for your Mars return. And I know you've mentioned to me before about going to school or something. Maybe it's not going to school. Maybe you get a certification. Maybe you take some online course. Maybe you do whatever. Multiple ways to get qualified, to get educated, to learn what it is that you need to know that will make you feel confident and competent at these particular skills. Practice also helps. Practice putting yourself out there also might be part of it because you be writing and teaching and speaking and doing all of those things anyway. Um, maybe putting too much pressure on yourself with the Nine of Swords. I wonder because you do work with kids now, so you're already kind of doing some form of teaching or educating, even if it's like passively. But I wonder if you could start like tutoring. Have you thought about I don't know why that came to me. I don't know if that's something you're interested in, but some kind of like tutoring or maybe some kind of a mentorship or some kind of like program that allows you to learn how to be an educator of some sort. Um and there are already skills that you possess that you can practice writing and teaching maybe while you're trying to get qualified or educated or whatever it is. But I think based on oh, anxiety and confusion around my vision creatively. Really, you just wanted me to pull cards so that you can interpret them, huh? But no, I'm also going to give you my own personal message, even though I know you know how to read cards. Because I also believe, maybe this is me projecting too, because I'm doing the same thing, but I also think, as far as like the sun representing self expression in this like really carefree way, and like fun way. I'm glad you thought that was funny. And this really carefree and fun way, like I think there could also be something around like the perfectionism, thinking about being in a Venus ruled year with Venus in Cancer and Libra rising and all that good stuff. Like there could be something around the perfectionism piece, or needing it to be excellent, um, needing it to be, I don't know, even just the idea of like always needing to teach something as a way to like flex your skills and your knowledge and your capabilities in that sense, when it's also like, what else, something else that you could share? Or what is something else, like a different place, maybe if it's not around your intelligence, where's another place that you could share from? Sharing from your heart, sharing from the body, sharing for fun, sharing something else that you enjoy doing and writing about that. Like maybe it's not always teaching. And I understand the impulse completely to like always teach. Like I can't help myself either. It's just part of us. But I think what might ease the anxiety too is just like writing or teaching or sharing about things that are just fun to you, or that are just interesting to you, or that are just, I don't know, that opens you up creatively in a different way besides just the same skills that you're always doing. Maybe that's something too. But really thinking about just getting in the practice of writing and speaking in a visible way. Aha! Not I clocked it. Maybe. Yeah. Because I, again, like being qualified does matter in the context that it matters in. Um but yeah, the sun is just so much about just like from the soul, from the heart, from your inner child or your inner teenager or whoever it is, just like letting yourself be you while you flex, you know. Sprinkle in some of the flexing along with just like having fun with it and being yourself with it. Like how much does yourself really get to come through in the things that you're writing and speaking and sharing? Is it just about the work? Is it just about the content, or can it also be about you? And that's all the time that we have today. In my best therapist voice. Um, that is our time for today. Um, that's cute. I hope that was helpful to you, friend. And also, thank you for asking. Thank you for letting me pull some cards for you. I am honored. That was fun. Um, time goes by so much faster reading for people than it does when I'm just like mindlessly talking too. So that was cute. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Um, and I'm glad that I decided to do this today instead of reading that lady's chart. I will, I will be reading that lady's chart at some point, because I said I would, and I am curious about her chart. I just didn't feel like being in her energy today. I wanted to be my own energy, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that you all showed up as well and shared your energy with me and wanted to hang out while I try to read cards and try to cultivate new skills. So thank y'all. And thank you for your tips and your donations. That is like, y'all don't understand. I would much rather do this than do deliveries during the week. Um, Way easier on my body than driving. So thank y'all for supporting me in my work. And I did have a 50% off sale going. It technically expired today. I might run it through the rest of the month. So it'll be the same code, YT50. And fuck it, why not run it through? I'll run it through the rest of the month. I don't care. Because I just want to do readings. I just want to see y'all. And I'm doing a crowdfund situation on Twitter too, so I can afford to charge a little bit less for readings. So if you would like to book a reading or a session, shadow work, birth chart reading, or if you know somebody who wants to get a sidereal birth chart reading and hasn't had one, use the code YT50 for 50% off of all of my 75-minute readings and the What the Fuck is Happening in the Sky reading. Come talk to me. And if you would like to support in other ways, you can always toss me a little donation whenever. Any amount helps. You can just retweet, repost, like, subscribe, all of the things. Just let people know that I exist. That's also super helpful. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's all I have to say, and I won't force anything else. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to go now and eat some food. Y'all have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for another daily live. Peace and blessings.